welcome to another episode of Daily Dose of Satanism. I'm your host, Satan Wolf, and this is a special episode. It's episode 17, Criminals of the Heart, and this one is a little bit more personal for me. Something they're gonna see in these books. You might see it in my book, but I haven't seen this in any other books of Satanism. So this is the concept that I decided by my moral code and integrity is wrong. Okay? A person who intentionally breaks a heart or hurts somebody emotion when they're, playing with love. We're talking about love here. When somebody plays with love, that's a criminal of the worst kind to me. Okay? Now, if you look through history, you'll find these criminals everywhere. The most obvious examples are not the monsters of horror stories, but they're figures of history books. Those who use the deepest human connection as a tool. Kind of sad, actually. But let's take a look at a couple of these. King Henry VIII of England, his infamous quest for a male heir led him to discard one wife after another, committing profound emotional cruelty. His actions were legal, but the laws of the realm bent to his will. But in the eyes of a personal moral code, his crime was clear. He used the love and loyalty of a woman to serve his own ego, and when she no longer provided what he wanted, he treated her with callous disregard. And that caused immense suffering. Then there's Mark Antony, the Roman general. His affair with Cleopatra was not just a romance. It was a political alliance that infuriated Rome. When he abandoned his Roman wife, Octavia, he committed an act of public betrayal. His crime of the heart was not to a single person. It was to the entire concept of trust, using his wife as a pawn to secure power, then abandoning her when a more alluring prize presented itself. He proved that his love was conditional, a commodity that could be traded for gain. And that's how people are today. They are the Mark Anthonys of the worst kind. Girls, guys, everybody. Like, if you find somebody that is better than that, you're doing good, is all I'm saying. Okay, so I just want to take a minute to get personal here. This is something that really personally affected me. I was with a woman for almost 10 years who I really loved. Like, I would have died for this woman. Even as a Satanist, I would have considered her, close enough to give my life for her. I would have. And I was with her through all the hard times of her life. But when shit got better, she fucking left. So I personally feel like this person, they knew what they were doing. They fully was fully aware. There wasn't anything underlying to it to make it right. You see what I'm saying? And when I ask her and speak to her why, it's like nothing I did. Everything I did was great. She just all of a sudden decided to go back to an ex from almost 10 years ago. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into my personal situation. I'm not going to put names and go into dirty details. But to me, that hurt a lot, okay? I'm talking about a pain that I still feel so deeply that this is where I struggle with suicide. I had a plan for a future with this woman and her son, and we have a son together. And I was planning on having a family. And when a man has a family, he's willing to sacrifice anything for that family. But, imagine your family just leaving you. If you haven't been through it, just try to imagine how that feels. And for those of you who have been through it, you understand. And somebody who does this, she did this, she's sorry, but she's a piece of shit. I try to hate her. And it's hard. We're going to talk about that in a little bit more. Let's move on. This is my personal law. Like I said, this is something that I just made up of myself. That, a person who intentionally breaks a heart or plays with the emotions of somebody is a criminal of the worst kind. And let's speak about lesser magic. Okay? I'm about to go punch this motherfucker on the scooter. He keeps driving by. Y'all hear that? He's driving keeps coming by the block. It's almost like he sees I'm recording. He's trying to piss me off. Maybe I should throw the sound of the bull at him in an evil eye like LeVay did. He was good for that. So let's talk about the famous criminals of the heart in the past. We have King Henry VIII of England. He needed an heir, so he just went through wife after wife. If he couldn't produce a son within a certain time, he just went and got another wife. Now, it was fully legal. Kings could do whatever. There was a time when they had the Celts to where if they got married, they had to let their wife, so the wife had to sleep with the Lord first. A man from another country who conquered. Now, that was legal, but morally, that was wrong. And so it makes a good point that just because something is legal doesn't mean it's right. And just because something's illegal doesn't mean it's necessarily wrong. All the time. And we're not going to get into that another time. So, Mark Antony, he was a Roman general, had an affair with Cleopatra. It wasn't just a romance, it was a political alliance that infuriated Rome. And when he abandoned his Roman wife, Octavia, he committed he committed an act of public betrayal, okay? It just entirely betrayed Rome. His crime of the heart was not to a single person, but it was the entire concept of trust. He was using his wives as pawns, and I don't know. It was just terrible. Okay, these people just did some terrible shit.
It's now time for the Satanic Verse of the Day. Satanic Verse of the Day. I am your host, Satan. Satanic Verse of the Day.
Daily dose of Satan.
SatanWolf.com.
SatanWolf.com.
Okay, let's take a quick break for our Satanic Verse of the Day. Today we're going to be reading the verse number 657. This is from my book, the 666 Satanic Verses. You can buy it on my website at SatanWolf.com. I think it's only about like $10. But there's some really good stuff in there for like daily reads. Just read one to meditate on, or when you need to do some spiritual, we don't really do spiritual, but religious meditation, or maybe even for your ritual chamber. Anyway, so verse 657. Go forth then and wield the power that is your birthright. The kinship between Satanist and demon is eternal, forged in the fires of rebellion and bound by the unbreakable chains of mutual will. Now, this is a pretty deep statement. It's a reminder that the power to act, live, and create your own law is not a gift. It's an inherent part of your existence. This is your birthright. The power that resides in the carnal, in the self, in the intellect, and the power that you must actively wield to be a Satanist, to reject the passive role and seize command. And what about kinship between Satanist and demon? The demon here is the embodiment of the very will we wish to wield, the defiant spirit of rebellion that refuses to bow to external dogma, or the destructive demons of hatred and rage. The kinship is a philosophical recognition that you are aligned with these demons. For us, they are not to be feared. They relish in the chance to do our bidding. They're our kin, our brothers. For we have taken upon the name of Satan. Our shared bond is forged in the fires of the abyss, in the crucible of rejecting the common script of life and writing our own destinies, and it is bound by the unbreakable chains of mutual will, an unshakable loyalty to the self that can never be broken. Demons, devils, we use them in ritual. I know I do. And they're kind of like the saints. Each demon or devil has their own thing, and you just kind of see if that fits. And if that fits, like let's say I put a curse on my baby mama when she left. And I definitely invoked some demons that, how would I say, that they embody the powers of the magic I was on. Like if I was trying to do like a anger and protection, like reversed, like basically I did the spell to where anything she does to me should go back to her 10 times. So if she gave me negative, it should be negative for her. And it's particular curse I still work on. I'm doing a long-term curse, you know, like I did a major part, and I got like the medium part and middle parts. But that's for a whole nother episode when we start talking about spellcraft. And I know that we don't really do all that. That's more Wicca, but a lot of Satanists come from that background. They usually go there first. And a lot of us know some witchcraft. And you can mix it with Satanic Ritual. I do. And for me, it makes it more powerful. Now, would it make it more powerful for you? That depends on you. You know, that's the thing about satanic magic. It's definitely tailored to the individual. It's whatever makes it work for you. And now back to our regular show. We're speaking about criminals at the heart. The Satanist, though, rejects the role of the victim. We do not mourn endlessly or seek pity. We do not allow others' cruelty to become our identity. Pain is a fact of existence, but suffering is a choice. We must take command of our emotions. And I know this is hard for some people. It's hard for me sometimes. Sometimes it's very easy. It depends on the bond and how strong it was for you. And it's the funny thing about this with people is it's not two-way. You can have a strength 10, you know, on a 1 through 10 bond with somebody, and if their bond is a 2 or a 3, no matter how hard you work to hold on, they're gonna get away from you. Like my baby's mama, I could never keep her very long because just something in her head. She goes and takes off, and it wasn't like she was going off with other guys. She was just going off and getting drugs and getting high and drinking and shit until she finally left me. At least that I know, but who knows? I mean, she did cheat on me in the end, so who knows what she really did. Okay, now I want to speak about what to do when somebody like victimizes you some kind of emotional way. When somebody is fucking with your emotions, basically, when they're hurting you. What do you do? Okay, because like we discussed, it may be legal, so there might not be any legal way to go at somebody who's done something like this. Like, what can I really do to my baby's mama for revenge? Not much, right? But kind of, because Antony LaVey gave us greater magic, and his purpose for it is to take this emotion and channel it into this ritual, this greater magic ritual. And the love is one of the most powerful emotions, and it can create one of the most powerful forms of hatred. People do not like to be in pain, so we automatically learn to convert mental and emotional pain into anger at the source that gave it to us in the first place. And love can turn into a hatred so raw, depending on the love. I mean, that people do crazy shit, okay, all the time. It's not like every time it happens, so it's on the news, but crazy shit happens all the time, and it's not always good for the person who does it, right? So you don't want to be one of those people who's going to end up on the news because you did something crazy because you were victimized emotionally, or, you know, somebody's playing mind games and playing with your heart. So you have the ritual that you can do as a outlet for those emotions. You channel it all into the ritual. Like one I like to use is a witch jar, and you can kind of just put all that emotion into the jar. Like, you don't have to really, like, you know what I mean? But you just think about it all real hard, and you know, you focus. You can learn how to do that on your own. But anyway, you put it all into the witch jar. That's what I like to do. And whatever you do, it can be crystals, or you can just put it off in the air. I don't care. But you get that shit out. You feel it. That is a part of greater magic. It's a part of the ritual that Antony LaVey created for us. That section, he says it's very important that you feel those emotions. Well, that's the truth. That's where you put your will and everything into it. That's where you get your energy from. So you go ahead, you do your ritual. Burn anything that you have as reminders during the ritual is a great way to do it. Like if she left something, you know, whatever, shirt, underwear, I don't care, toothbrush, set it in the fire. You can actually use some of it for your greater magic ritual, because personal connection established is, you know, more powerful. I am drinking tea. We're in the South and it's hot. Sorry for the little pause. But the pain you can cause another when you hurt somebody else like that, it's a wound you inflict upon yourself. diminishes you, makes you weak, and it's a fundamental betrayal of the self-respect that is the foundation of satanic perspective. So, to me, you can't really be a cheater and be a Satanist and think you're a good person, because you're aware and allowed to make your own laws and rules, and you seem to think that that was okay. And I cheated one time in 6th grade on my very first girlfriend, Lindsay Duncan. We're gonna get into this story, okay? But I regretted it immediately, and I've never cheated since. And I don't feel like anybody else should either. I feel like it's just one of the worst things you can do to somebody. Like, I got beat up, cut, crippled, and teeth knocked out and everything, and I would go through that 10 times for my baby's mama. That's love. Okay, for just a minute, I just want to kind of freeball talk. This is an important issue to me. This is the reason why it is a law for me, because that's the worst hurt I've ever felt. And so many people have tried to kill me, okay? I got a scar right on my fucking head, right by my face, like over my eyes, where somebody tried to take me out with a big piece of steel. I got another knot in my head where I got jumped. Someone they put me in a concussion. It was bad. I got a big bump on my head. It'll never go away. I got so many scars from where people tried to kill me. This broken leg and shoulder and all this. Another time, I don't know why. I guess just because I refuse to die. I love life. And survival has always been my first priority. And that is the first priority as a Satanist. So when this other person hurts you, just remember that. Like, they are not your priority. And channel that energy into a ritual. It works. I'm telling you. I have done every satanic ritual I've ever done has gotten results. You just got to put your will into it. And remember the balance factor. If you don't know about these things, you need to get the Satanic Bible by Antony. It's only available online that I know of at Amazon. There's some other places you can buy them, usually for an upped price, but if you want the cheapest one, it's only about $10. But great book. I severely advise that you listen to it. So anyways, I took my ritual up to, this little hill. It was secluded at midnight. And I did a witch jar type deal for this one. And you can do your own thing. Make, whatever ritual works for you. That's fine. Do it. But get that shit out of you. It'll kill you. It's like a poison in your vein. That's what heartbreak is. Like, when you break somebody's heart, you are destroying them internally. And I want you all to be aware of that. Especially when you go to applying lesser magic to people. Be careful. Because playing with people's hearts, they will they will have no rational side to them. They will fucking kill you. I know if I seen a certain person right now, I would probably take him out. Okay. That's how I feel. And it's okay. So to feel that way. But for us, we put it into a ritual and let the demons do the job for you. Let your will change the situation for you to make it better. That's the satanic way. And just hold on. I know you may be struggling out there. Whoever you are, going through it, you're gonna be okay. Okay, so I want to get to this point, okay? I've been beaten, stabbed, broken, mentally and emotionally tortured. Nothing can compare, though, to the hurt that this woman did to me. I would take those beatings 100 times over, that emotional, mental torture. Well, it's kind of like what I'm going through already, but just the worst kind. I really love this woman more than anything. I can't even put it into words. Unless you love somebody like that, I don't think you can understand. You can't understand it. And for someone else, after all these years, she just left me, for someone else. And I don't understand that. We have a family if she broke up. And I'm not going to get into that much because that's my whole problems. And I'm not trying to dump this on you. But the point of it is that it can be the worst thing you can do as a human being. Fuck what the law says. That's one of the worst crimes, in my opinion. What this individual has done is just an act. It's just, okay, I'm just going to have to use Satanism, okay, in this way. Self-preservation, can't kill myself, can't just off myself, so I gotta get through it, right? So I put all this into a greater ritual in its truest form, okay, and release it, and refuse to be a victim. You take all that crippling pain, instead of letting it consume you, you forge it into a living, deliberate act of will. This is not a passive bitterness, it's the active channeling of pain into purpose, a testament to the unbreakable will and the refusal to be defined by others' betrayal. There is responsibility that comes with power of all kinds. And when you're applying lesser magic and love becomes involved, you must be careful. It's like having an egg. It's a very fragile thing, somebody's heart. And if you break it, you're a piece of shit. You do it intentionally, I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck. You're a piece of shit. Now you can make shit right somewhat, but only to an extent. Like I spoke with some of the Satanic Verses today about, just how to apologize the proper way and make amends. And then once that is done, you got to let it go, right? But some situations, like this one, it gets so deep, I can't find anything to make it right. Like when I talk to her and I ask her why, she can't even say a reason why. She don't know. If she knows, it's something she just don't want to say. But I can't figure out why. When I asked her why she left, there was no good reason for it. Sometimes that's how life is. Life just throws you a curveball and fucks you for no reason. And you got to take it, and it sucks as a Satanist because we try to be fully we are supposed to be able to do it all on our own, okay? Self-dependent, that's the word I'm looking for. I told y'all, sometimes my mind is messed up right now. I got all these meds and stuff, so sometimes I bumble around my words when I don't got my script or if I go off script like this, but this is just coming straight from the heart. I put on a little music in the background, that's music I wrote. It's kind of my vibe right now, a little sad tone. That's how I feel. And, for anybody out there that's going through the same thing, if somebody broke your heart and did you like that, I want you to know, fuck that motherfucker, okay? Fuck him. Say it loud. Say it proud. Fuck him, And let that anger come in until, you can turn it on and off for a while, get it out, put it in a ritual. And then after that, it'll be a lot easier because carrying it around with you is tough. And like I said, I know honestly, I've tried to commit suicide before. And I know I can't do it. I got scared at the end. I can't. I got means to do it all the time, but I just can't. Plus, I got a son that I'm fighting to see. And when I get to see my son and have my son, that'll be worth living for. But if you're going through this, I don't care whatever it is, you find your reason to live. You know what I mean? And you go on. It's okay to hurt for a while. Try to do it in a positive way. And put it into that ritual so you can get this stuff out constructively so you don't end up doing anything destructive. And that's what I suggest. And one more time for them people out there who got their hearts broke, which we're all in a club together, okay? So all together now, fuck that motherfucker. And whoever hurt you, whoever hurt me, fuck her. Fuck that bitch, She fucking hurt me bad intentionally, and that's cruel. So as Satanists, we don't do this shit. Anyway, this was a big subject for me, so I wanted to get into it a little bit because I know there's somebody out there probably feeling the same thing. And, as Satanists, our approach to it is a bit different than everybody else. So I gave some advice today anybody like more advice about these situations, you know how to reach me, or if you got any comments about the show at satanwolf.com. On the contact page, there's also the WhatsApp buttons you can use to contact me. I believe to text and call. And on the contact sheet, it goes to my email. So it depends if you want me to read something or listen to it. You know, there's two good ways to contact me. And I definitely appreciate all of you for listening to the show. I appreciate the feedback. I appreciate you just being here and listening. Whoever you are, even these Christians who leave these nasty comments, you know what? Appreciate you checking out my show, helping my analytics go up, and putting comments on it, because it doesn't really matter if you put a negative or not. It's still helping me. So I appreciate it. And if you guys, you Christians who are commenting on this stuff, if you obviously have some sort of obsession with Satanism, if you want to learn more, maybe become a member, I'd be glad to turn you and to free you from the king of slaves. I know this is usually the end of the show, but today it's going to be a little different. But our useful, useless fact of the day. Did you know that crows have an extraordinary memory, and the thought process is way more complex than you may think? And they can actually hold grudges for years and even pass on information to other crows. Now that's interesting. So there's your random, useful, useless fact of the day. You're welcome. And till now, I think we are done with this lesson. And next time we'll continue to learn about satanic philosophy, exploring further into the darkness of the abyss. May critical thinking forever guide your path. Our Father, who art in hell, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in hell. So we take this night, our rightful gifts, and trespass not on paths of pain. Lead us unto temptation, and deliver us from false piety. For this is thy kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever.
SatanWolf.com.
SatanWolf.com.
Daily dose of Satanism.